Welcome back to Rhythms Live one-on-one on GHOne TV. Now, this is the part where we have the one-on-one. This is where we always sit with a celebrity or a figure in the entertainment industry. We have a relaxed conversation with this person and get to know this person. Ladies and gentlemen, who do we have on one-on-one right here on Rhythms Live? I have known him, I think the time I started listening to his songs, I was in senior high school. I remember all the beautiful songs he served us with. He was able to blend African languages, if I should say, with the music. He introduced me to actually Yoruba language because he was infusing that in his songs. I saw him as an African gospel artist because he was not just Ghanaian, even though he is Ghanaian, who is based in the US. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a doctor in divinity and musicology. He happens to be a dean. He's also a life coach and a pastor of Rock Hill Church. Do you know who I'm talking about? His name is Dr. Pastor Sonnie Badu in the US, but in Ghana, it's Sonnie Badu. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
It's an honor to have you here.
Pleasure to be here.
And seeing people who have spent over a decade in the industry, always the first question that comes to mind is, how has it been?
Knowing where you come from, it could be challenging, but not for God.
Right.
So it's been challenging, but it's been blissful as well, and I'm grateful to God.
Okay, beautiful. Now, you have experienced seasons and times, if you should say. We would say that for the gospel music industry, there's always a phase. And if I would put it, there are dispensations. The time a new dispensation was coming up, you were one of the people that it started with. And I know it was new to some people. What are some of the backlashes and challenges you faced around that time that even today, it's seen as, natural or normal?
Right.
Because you guys started, if I should say, a revolution, a Christian revolution. How was it like starting a new thing?
It always comes with someone trying to start something new. There will be opposers. There will be some who would refuse to do it. There will be some who will say it wouldn't last long. And there will be others who say, hey, I think this is something new, we got to join. And I think once God empowers you, he also protects you and gives you that confidence that it's going to work. And it was always my prayer that Africa will gain a voice on the international scene because us at that time, it was just a few who had made that impact.
Yeah.
And now you see a lot of Africans make an impact all over the world, and it's humbling to know that you're one of those who started that revolution, and it's here to stay. Yeah.
All right. You have experienced different worlds. When you look at the gospel scene in Africa and outside Africa, you know the differences. In fact, on Monday, I spoke to Joyce Blessing, and she mentioned receiving 1,200 on royalties after 10 years of being in the system. How is it like outside there? And what can be done so that such issues are not discussed? Because almost every musician is talking about it. We are paid this amount of money on royalties, but nothing is being done about it.
This is Africa. Fill in the gap. So I don't think it should be called royalties. It should be called something else because, again, how is the system running? Who is running that system? What are the terms and conditions? Before you signed with them, what did they tell you was going to happen? It's important to read through everything thorough. I've had people pass contracts to me from Ghana that I refused to sign or refused to let any family member sign.
Right.
Because I read it and I knew what the behind the scene would be. Until date, I'm not interested in signing because I know that you will not receive anything. We're taking it, but we need you to endorse that we're going to take it.
So you don't receive royalties from Gamro?
I think my mother deals with that, but it's those ones that you know I wouldn't, again, I don't want to say anything and I'll be taken out of context. But again, this is Africa. So to answer what you said, Joyce said, this is Africa.
And looking at where we want Africa to be, don't you think that we should do something about it, especially having a strong organization or a body that cushions all these people?
You would have to clear everybody in Africa and recreate something new.
So nothing would change.
You just read what Michael Blackson said.
Yes.
Happened to him. Now, this guy's an international figure and everything he says carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
What he's done is damaged Ghana big time, because what it's going to do is tell everybody don't go and invest in Ghana. Okay? Again, this is Africa. So it's not just happening in Ghana. It's happening everywhere, where people think about their pockets first before impact. Okay? Where people don't envision the future. They want it now. When you go to the white man's land, they plan things 200 years ahead, 50 years ahead. Even if they don't make nothing, even if it doesn't benefit them, they would rather benefit their children to come. There's going to be a time in Africa where one will become a president, but there's nothing to look up to because we have sold our birthrights. Okay? So again, this is Africa. We just pray that the right people will occupy certain spaces, because there's something that comes with promise and fail. Before you come on, you make a lot of promises. You come on there and you change. It's normal. This is Africa.
This is Africa indeed. Now, there is something also related to Africa that Dr. Sonnie is about to have right here. And we're going to talk about that very soon. But I have also known you to be one of the few gospel musicians, let's say Ghanaian gospel musicians, who are actively involved in football, especially when it comes to Ghana and other countries. In fact, you always take your time to do your analysis. Were you having any interest when you were growing up in football? Were you a football player?
Growing up, it was either I become a footballer or a musician.
Oh, right.
And God chose my path. So I have a lot of interest in football.
Right.
And I follow the Ghana national team keenly to know and see their progress. And currently, we're going through challenging seasons. What I would advise is they gel more together. Okay, there's something that comes with bonding together. That's what the team is missing. They can have individual brilliancy, but if you don't bond together, you wouldn't make any impact. So I see a lot of people say, oh, but they're doing well in their teams, Arsenal and all of that, because they live together. They spend a lot of time together. And sometimes bonding off the pitch will bring results on the pitch. So that's what the players are missing. They're not getting enough time. Now, the game against Angola, most of the Angolan people they live together. It's just a few of them who play professional. They will win because, they're taking time to understudy people. Number two, all the coach needs to say to them is make sure these guys look useless on the pitch. Football is about motivation. Okay, whatever the coach says to them, if it works that day, trust me, you can be the best team but can be destroyed by the worst team because somebody motivated them right. So these players need good psychologists to help them, and they need to bond more together. If I was in the Black Stars GFA committee, I would say, hey guys, when you guys are not playing in your clubs, meet each other and just keep bonding so you can get to know each other. Now I see people compare them to the Asamoah Gyan's and Essie and them. Listen, these guys grew from starlets to Black Stars. They know each other. They know each other. Sonnie Badu can close his eye and know where Jan is. Sule Muntaria grew literally with Essien. Okay, now flip the script. What about these players? Some came from Right to Dream, some came from different places. So they don't know each other, yet they are brilliant. So maybe in the next 2-3 years, they'll do well. But currently, I'd rather go for a lot of local players who know how to bond with each other and they're used to these African pitches.
Speaking of pitches, there's been a lot happening on what happened after the Ghana-Angola match. And the latest is that the director of the association has been sacked. People are even asking that the sports minister is sacked because all of them are the stakeholders. They're supposed to be making sure these are... What's your take on that?
It's part of the reason why we've had to change our up-and-coming concert from the Accra Sports Stadium to a different place. Yes. Something must have happened. I mean, even in Wembley Stadium, before, there are either pitch covers that when you rent to other people, concerts, you use the pitch covers to cover the pitch, to protect the pitch. Yeah. But it depends on what pitch it is, okay?
Okay.
So or what grass you're using.
Right.
So you could have whichever pitch and grass, but if your pitch cover is not the right thing, you're gonna destroy it. Yeah. Here's the question: what grass are you using for your stadiums? And if you wanna complain, Ivory Coast is just next door. They invested so much in these grass or whatever they use that we all watched the African Cup of Nations and we saw the stadiums and we were like, this is incredible. Why don't you ask them what they did to give them that 5-star stadium? And we just don't even renovate the chairs, just renovate the pitch. Don't touch the chairs. Touch the pitch right there. Ivory Coast is next door. Ask them, what did you do? Which company did you use? And invest in one pitch, you know. And but I'm wishing Ghana soccer well, Ghana football well, and then hopefully our next game against Sudan, I think, which is going to be a very emotional game. Because Akwesi Appiah, who has coached, I think it's a battle between his spirit and his soul. His soul is in Ghana, his spirit is in Sudan. You know, but that's football. Man got to eat, so you know it's going to be an interesting game.
They have to do it.
Absolutely.
All right, beautiful. Now the latest that has happened, closing the stadiums, and well, there are plans on working on them. We do not know how fast that can happen, but this has also affected events. For example, the one that Sonnie Badu is about to have right here. We're going to look at the new location. We're going to look at the event itself and what to expect from them. Now, looking at his explanations, you could tell that he's detailed. So it makes me wonder, do you have plans on managing a football team? Do you have plans on starting something like that? Because your heart is in that.
One day I will. Again, this is Africa.
Right.
So you got to be careful where you invest.
Yeah.
Because something will happen that will just put you off.
Right.
So things like, I mean, asking me that question, why hasn't any ex-football player come up invested? Okay, there must be something wrong.
Yeah.
There must be something going on why they don't want to do that. Because the natural reflex is after you've played football, you either build a park, you know, a monumental place, or invest in a team, or go into coaching who has a team. True. Why has none of them really done it and only a few? There must be something wrong. This is Africa. Again,
this is Africa.
Things go on in Africa.
And let's talk about your event, Rhythms of Africa. When I was in senior, I saw that because it's been there for a while. Did you go on a break? Because I did not hear of that for a while, especially the ones you have in Ghana. Was there a break?
So after I think the last major concert I did was in Maryland, DAR Constitution. Then I went to Atlanta, Bucket Theater. Then we decided to come here to Ghana to do the Rhythms of Africa.
Right.
We were not sure where it would be. I didn't want to do any speculated big place, and then because it had been about 10 years since I'd come back in the game. So we chose the Grand Arena, and man, there are about 10,000 people in there and more people outside. So after that, I knew we were going straight to the stadium. And so we had planned that a year ahead and sorted out all logistics, made deposits and everything. And then when I landed this week, we had to have an emergency meeting, i.e. we can't use the stadium, which I understood. If I love Ghana football, then hey, let me back out and you get it right. So we're currently looking for a new place, which in the next few hours, few days, we will confirm that this is the new place. And I promise you, it's still going to be good.
Okay.
It's still going to be good.
So your money has been refunded?
Oh yes, they've done amazing. I had no problems. We came into a mutual agreement, and Yes.
Okay.
Everything, yeah.
But is the date fixed now?
That's where the problem is.
Okay.
We might not get the 1st December.
Right.
But whichever date, we're ready for it.
Okay.
If the concert is tomorrow, I'm ready to hit the stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, we are ready to be there and have a beautiful experience right there at Rhythms of Africa. It's always a beautiful... In fact, we witnessed last year's own, and it was beautiful. As you can see, the place was packed. That is why there's a larger auditorium or venue needed. And I know that we are also going to be there this year to have a great moment with Dr. Sonnie Badu, as the Americans will always say. But let's talk about your latest song. What's the title? So,
I Love the Way is the first single out of the whole album, Intimacy, which I recorded last month at my church, Rock Hill Church, with my church members. And I Love the Way is a youthful song, Gen Z era, and it talks about God's love, God turning our mourning into dancing. It's just a sweet melodious song that I think it's catching fire.
Right.
And so I'm grateful to God that we are able to come up with something like that, you know, jumping into this new generation as well. Yeah.
Okay, so it's out there, released?
It's online,
Beautiful.
It's on every digital platform, yeah.
Do you have videos yet?
Yes, the video is out
right.
on YouTube, yeah.
Okay, we have a video to show you on this beautiful song we are talking about. The album has been released, Intimacy, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go and enjoy one of the songs. We'll be right back. And that's a beautiful song right there. No wonder the album is titled Intimacy. This is on love. What's the title of this song?
I Love the Way.
Ah, I Love the Way. I saw a gentleman being featured right there. What's his name?
No, not on this one.
Oh, okay,
but,
not on this one.
On the album, I featured quite a few people on that, yeah.
Okay, all right, beautiful. So this is The Way. Is it The Way?
I Love the Way.
I love it, yeah. I love the way. I know I love the way you love me, yeah. I love the way. And there are other songs on the Intimacy album. How many songs are on the album? 10, yes. So 10 for you to listen to, 10 for you to enjoy, 10 for you to be blessed with. And don't forget, it's on all the digital platforms. The videos are also out. I believe that they are going to bless you. Now, the event is also coming on, even if it's tomorrow, we're having it. So Rhythms of Africa is coming live right here in Accra, and the date will be communicated.
Absolutely.
So what should they look out? Should they be looking out for the updates on your platforms?
So we will release the update on our social media platform, and it's free.
Free.
Okay. And this edition is the Ghanaian edition. So all the artists on there are going to be Ghanaians.
Right.
And from the local to the contemporary, we're going to see everybody on stage.
Okay.
I'm excited about it because this gives us the opportunity to let the world know what we have in Ghana as well.
All right. But for the artists, gospel artists, do you know any of them? Do you want to share with us some of the ones?
We're still going over the list.
All right.
So it's going to be surprising.
I know what happened in last year's own.
Yeah, we're still literally going thorough because there's a way I need it to run. You know, it's the peace edition. So you know, we're working behind the scene. Trust me. None of my production has gone way well, right? It's always been good. So this Sonnie Badu production is going to be top notch.
On point. Okay. Now, for those, there are some events where it's free, but they'll need to maybe register or do something. For Rhythms of Africa, the Ghana edition, which is having the theme which is peace, what are they supposed to do? Or they are just
show up there.
Okay.
But what I'd say is, this time round, show up early so you can have a better view. We're going to try and make sure everybody sees everything clearly, enjoys the music good, but come early because it's a whole package. Yeah.
All right. Beautiful. Of course, it's an election year. That is why your concert is even influenced by that. But to our viewers, your camera here, speak to them about the election and what you need them to know.
Hey, hello Ghana, this is Dr. Sonnie Badu. It's that time again where we gotta vote for a new president. And this is what I'm saying to people. If you're happy, vote. If you're not happy, vote. That's what I say, but whatever you're doing, understand that your thumb is your power. And so, God bless Ghana. I wish everybody the best. And it's going to be a peaceful election.
Amen.
And the hand of God will be upon Ghana. Amen. Because the world is watching.
Yes.
And I pray that peace will reign.
Amen. If you're happy, vote. If you're not happy, vote. That is the only way you can express your happiness or your sadness.
I mean,
it is through your votes.
If a minister of a diaspora hasn't been doing well, and now they're trying to eat with you and all of that, hey,
so that's all. Don't sit there and
if
talk,
they've taken care of you throughout the year, vote.
Exactly.
It's as simple. This is the time you are the most powerful person in this nation. Don't waste that vote. It's as simple as that.
All right. Don't waste the vote. Prepare to vote. If you haven't registered, if you have never voted before, plan on that. Register, be part of it, and make sure you vote. Beautiful message right there. We've had a great moment with Pastor. No, let me just talk about everything he does. No, not everything, but I can give you a few. I know he's a husband, he's a father, he's a pastor, he's a doctor in divinity and musicology, he's a recording artist, he's a dean. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a great time with you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And if you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to you. We're about to read the messages as well. If you didn't send it earlier, you're missing the point where Sonnie Badu himself reads your birthday message for you. Exactly. So always try and send them earlier, okay? So we get the opportunity to celebrate you in a grand style. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for always being with us. Do not forget that Rhythms of Africa is coming live right here in Accra. Get ready, stay tuned. It's like get set. When you hear we are going here, you start running, you start preparing for that. And the details will definitely be shared on all platforms. You will hear about that. We have a birthday message, and then Dr. Sonnie Badu is going to help us read that right here on the screen.
Happy birthday. Your kindness, laughter, and endless support means the world to me. May this new chapter be filled with love, joy, and all the blessings you deserve. Here's to more memories, laughter, and unstoppable adventure. Happy birthday, Bez from Scarlett.
Happy birthday to you, Bez from Scarlett. We love you. We wish nothing but the best for you. Once again, Doc, thank you so much for joining us.
I appreciate you.
Make a date tomorrow, same time, right here on GHOne TV. It is entertainment o'clock. Every time it is 3 p.m. As long as it's a weekday, we have a date with you. Next week, same time, same day, we're going to have one-on-one. So do tune in, but don't forget, you need to stay here because we continue to be your best experience. I am Blessing Bliss from Paul. You can call me Teacher Blessing. Enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget, I love you, but God loves you more.